All right, let's bring in now two very courageous academics. Sydney University, Dr. Sarah Amador, welcome to you. Thank you for being with us. And Professor Andy Smith, who is the coordinator of the New South Wales State Coordinator of 5A, the Australian Academic Alliance Against Anti-Semitism. And you've just left the University of Sydney in February to go to Southern Cross University.
Yep.
Thank you both very much for joining us. Sarah, you've actually been on campus at the University of Sydney. You teach biology there. You've been on campus this week. What's it been like?
So in the center of the university, there's a camp with tents. There's megaphones. There's people standing and taking over that whole area. If anybody has been to the University of Sydney, it's the main kind of area, the icon of Sydney University, and that's where they are. They have huge banners, they have flags. They pretty much took over the center of the university.
How does it feel as a Jewish academic going there every day?
It's very triggering. You walk over the bridge and there's posters everywhere. I walk to my classrooms, there's posters everywhere. Posters that are calling for the destruction of the state of Israel, well, at least the dismantlement of the state of Israel, calling for boycott, calling for intifada, and it's everywhere. And it's allowed.
Yeah. Andy, you've been at the University of Sydney, as I said, you just left in February. What was it like? What were the experiences like for you turning up on a daily basis, particularly in the wake of October 7th?
Look, after October 7th, it was a very scary place to be. There were tables popping up everywhere. There were posters that were popping up. There were students who were very anxious and very scared. I'm also the parent of a current University of Sydney student, and my son, who is at the university, has days where he doesn't feel safe. The thing that hit me as a parent was when they got the students, this was back in October, November, got an email to say that campus security would escort them between classes for their own safety.
Wow, so this an email came out from the management?
To the university, to the students. And as a parent, my son showed this to me, and I wrote an email and said, I've been fine up until now. This was the point at which it really upset me. Because if you're telling me you can't protect my child walking between one lecture and another. And the university came back with a lot of answers and platitudes. They talked about how they have public transport. They run buses between campus and the train station for any women who feel unsafe to walk at night. This is no different. We protect our students. But I can tell you that as a Jewish parent, that's not how it felt.
No. I've spoken to other Jewish parents as well who have children, teenagers who are at the University of Sydney. And Sarah, what really worries me is that not just the University of Sydney, but the American colleges as well, the Ivy League colleges. I mean, are we getting to a point, and I don't think I'm being overly dramatic saying this, but are we getting to a point where it might not be safe for Jews to get a university tertiary education anymore?
Well, hopefully we won't get there. At this moment, I believe that what's going on in the universities is a hijack by a minority that is very loud and has a very big backing. So when I walk through campus, if I was seeing more and more people from outside of the campus coming, they're not students. Those are the people that scare me. I was verbally attacked by people that were not part of the university last year.
What did they say?
They called me a murderer, a Mossad spy, I think was one of them. Go back to where you came from. And
based on the fact that you wear the Magen David, or?
I was actually not wearing a Magen David that day. I was recording one of their protests. And they singled me out, I think, because I think the people know that I'm Jewish. So yeah, I don't know exactly why they singled me out, but they definitely did. And I was suspicious, so they went at me. But the university is actually a has been a beautiful place, and I want to kind of make that very clear. I have wonderful Muslim co-workers. I have wonderful Muslim students. I have never had a problem with any of them. It's this group that is trying to hijack the university.
Look, we've got to go, but just before we do, Andy, you know, I reported here on the show that Tel Aviv University representatives came and they ended up being locked in a room with pro-Palestinian activists. Has any disciplinary action occurred?
Not as far as we know. And there have been letters that have been written by the Vice-Chancellor of Tel Aviv University, and that the 5A group has followed up with that and tried to action some of that. But as far as we know, there is no disciplinary action that's been taken against those students.
I have to just commend you both for your courage and coming on here and speaking out. I know it's not easy. I know there's a lot of threats and blowback in the academic community. So Angie and Sarah, thank you both so much.